everyone, before watching this video, just want you guys know, this video is an old video, on a time when we used to have 51 subscribers. So, just want you guys know, some of the costumes in that anniversary video, or video, are probably updated, like Toby for example. Isn't that right, Toby? Yep. So yeah, see you guys in the video. Wow, I finally did it. 51 subscribers. What should I do to celebrate this milestone? Oh, that makes sense. This is 23 Trapmaster Studios here today. And today, to celebrate my 51 subscriber counting, I'm gonna show off all my main custom Trapmasters and Andy Carvel. To show off the history of how I made these models. Now, we'll start with the first one. We'll start with all of them in number order. We'll start off with Tiffy the Ghost Engine. Also, what you guys know before I start this video is not made for people with your attention span. So, if you can't watch a video very on time, don't even bother trying to watch this, because this is gonna be me yapping about all my locomotives. So, yeah. Now, we'll start with Tiffy. Tiffy is my first engine I ever tried to modify or custom. Tiffy also, the engine I used for Tiffy was an old Talking Thomas from the year 2014. I decided to modify Tiffy since I watched a little fan-made movie talking about Tiffy and Thomas and Percy, but that's for another story. Tiffy also gone for some modifications. Also, the talking thing about Tiffy, or at least the talking part that makes Tiffy talk, doesn't work anymore, but his motor still works, so he can still run. He's not really a good performer, just what I get for not making a strip. He's not really good at pulling cars or coaches, but he can still move things. But I still keep him around, and I constantly keep upgrading him and modifying him and stuff. This is my fifth attempt at making Tiffy look better. But I'll explain the process how I made him later if I ever make his own video. Next one, Thomas. Thomas is a Superstation Thomas I was working on for a long time ago. Like Tiffy, Thomas gone through some multiple custom liveries. He even got himself a custom chassis once. I modified the back of him and make him look more like an E2. In case you guys don't know what E2 is, it's the name of the train that Thomas is based off from. In my headcanon for Thomas is what you call a factory error. The reason why he shows short is because, well, at the workshop where he was getting built, they didn't really have enough materials to make him as young as the other ones, making Thomas short. I'll get into his origin story later. But Thomas is also a good runner. If I could compare him to an engine, I'd probably compare him to Henry, Edward, and James. But yeah, he works. The next one, Edward. Edward, is a practically one of my engines got completely modified. For starters, I gave him side rods, or you see some short side rods like you have in the show. I was still hesitant by giving him these since I was wondering, will it make him look good or will it look bad? The original Edward, the original Trapmaster Edward, originally has side rods that goes from here to over here, which I didn't really like because that wasn't inaccurate for Edward, since Edward is what you call 040. A 040 is an engine has 4 big wheels in the back and 4 small wheels in the front, like this. Edward, or you Trapmaster Edward, have 1 wheel in the front and 6 wheels in the back, or 6 big wheels, which I didn't really like, so I shortened the side rods. I also give him this little sign thing, which I put in the decal, making it says his branch line, since like Thomas, Edward will have his own branch line, which is the Brandon branch line. But that's a problem. But that's a thing for a year day. I'll get into Upward and his origin story because I have my own headcanon for all these engines. And another video. Next one, Henry. Henry didn't really got modified much. All he got was a custom paint job and a broken body shell. Because, well, my Henry can't be screwed into his chassis. I don't know what happened, but it broke. So, for now, he's like this. But like I said earlier, he's a good runner like Thomas or Upward. Was it you said Thomas was as good as us? Yeah, I'd say that. I have my own headcanon for Henry too, but I'll get into that later. Next one, Gordon. Like Upward, Gordon has a complete custom chassis. A long time ago, I got these Tomy Shinkansen bullet train locomotives. And these things are pretty fast. These locomotives have two modes. Technically three if you count the off switch, but yeah. First one is regular speed and high speed. Making these trains able to double in speed. Making my Gordon really slow compared to him. Heck, even Diesel 10 was faster than him. And no, yeah, I own Diesel 10. I'll get into him later. So I didn't really like how Gordon was slower than all these guys, so I tried to look up videos how to make my Gordon faster. And I found out if you give him a different motor, more simply I think a blue or a different cut. I think it's a blue or purple motor. Make him faster. I didn't really have one until I found a blue one from a spur locomotive, which I modified to Gordon to make him even more faster than before. And I'll show you guys in a little bit. But yeah, Gordon is probably one of my fastest trap masters out of these casts of characters. I'll also show you how fast he is. I'll show you guys right now. Gordon paired with my custom Diesel 10. I just have to figure out a way how I can turn them both on at the same time without using the camera or anything, or dropping the camera. So 3, 2, 1. And that's how fast Gordon is. He's actually pretty faster, or he's when I first customized him, he was faster than he is now. But since I already have a lot of AAA batteries, he's currently as fast, or he's a little bit faster than Diesel 10. Oh, but if I ever get some good batteries for him and show you guys him against these bullet trains, he'll probably smoke all of them. Next one, James. Like Henry, there's not really much to say about James. Except he got himself a custom chassis, but the chassis is not as modified as Upward or Gordon's. I just gave him a new chassis. I also painted his side rods gold to match his 2026 80th anniversary model or toy, because that would be a good look for him. I did try to get rid of his dome though, so I can move his dome a bit more closer to here, but I couldn't sand it down. I did thought about changing out his body shell or something, or removing the boiler part and keeping the chassis, but I found out that this whole thing, like his boiler, is attached to his chassis, since what Apple here, for example, his top part, this part, is not actually connected to, or to his running board, this part. But with James, everything about him is molded, all except his face and his smoke box. And it'll be pretty hard for me to remove a smoke box door, or a smoke box, which is this thing, where his face is. But other than that, okay, James is pretty good. He operates fine and he works like he's intended. Now here's Percy. Percy is one of my older engines. He's practically older than Timothy. I try to make Percy shorter in length compared to the other engines, since, well, I was just trying to get another Percy to show you guys for a sample. Here's my custom talking Percy, or I didn't really give this guy a name because he was intended to be an OC or something. But yeah, you can see how this guy, he's kind of young compared to Percy. He's ashamed to share a body shell, except that instead of having a switch hole right here, he has a button, or he's something where you're supposed to put a button. He's pretty young compared to Gordon, which he's practically the same length as him. And look, getting started with the height. So I realized I can't shorten Percy, so I decided to shorten him by length. Like chopping up his running board or buffer beam, this part right here, and try to make it as short as I can. I also found that I can remove the top part of him. So I used that to my opportunity to try to carve some of his boiler, so I can make these make his boiler, or use this part of the boiler smaller. Which I used cardboard to make it. Percy, he probably needs better lining. I currently have him unlined it out, but he's a work in process. I also have to paint his buffer beam and give him some buffers. Next one's Toby. And Toby, oh boy, Toby's the worst performing one. Well, Toby, out of all these engines, is terrible. He's even worse than Timothy with performance. He could barely remove two cars or two coaches. I had to give him weight so he could perform better. I did give him a custom chassis because, well, his old chassis traded him with 4 wheels instead of 6, since Toby actually has 6 wheels. There was this confusion with the Thomas Brandon where he thought Toby was a coffee pot, which still people were confused. But no, Toby's not a coffee pot. He's what you call a J70 tram engine, which he has 6 wheels instead of 4. In case you guys don't know what a coffee pot is, well, just look it up. Look up coffee pot locomotive in case you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I did paint Toby's side plating, or this part, blue, since, well, to match his Railway Series appearance or book appearance. Also did to my HO scale Toby, which you can see right there. And I did give him a custom funnel since I want to move his funnel a bit more back, or no, a bit more forward than match the J70s, or used to make him look more like a J70. But other than that, I'm Toby. This is my Toby. Next one is is Emily. I removed her side rods since, like Edward, her side rods were inaccurate. So I plan to give her some dummy side rods because Emily's based off from a Sterling single. An engine that looks like this, which you can notice that this engine only has one side rod connected to the big wheel. Emily is this basis. So I decided to give her some fake side rods. They're currently off right now. I'm planning to give those things back to her later. I also currently have her with this always go Emily tender since I repurposed that tender for another project. I also didn't really like how big it is since it was as big as Emily. And her tender is supposed to be small, like this engine. So I plan to give her a custom tender later. I painted her in the style of Sterling single number 1. In my head, Emily wasn't made with the class, but she was supposed to be a replica, a temporary replace Sterling single number 1 for excursion work. And yeah, I have no soda because, well, after the repair Sterling single number 1, she didn't really have any purpose. I'll get into her origin story later. Now the next one is Annie and Clarabelle. Annie and Clarabelle are the 2019 or 2021 Annie and Clarabelle models. Originally they had these stupid gear wheels, or these wheels with grooves in them or things. I don't know why Mattel, aka the company who makes these trains, gave these things, because these things suck. They really suck around turns mostly. So I changed out Annie and Clarabelle's wheels with these type of wheels, which are like these ones but without the grooves. And I give them a custom brown livery. I did try to paint their smiles, but that failed miserably. And I plan to give them a repaint since, well, they need it. Other than that, they're pretty good. And the last one's Salty. I use a cool Salty because, well, just to cool him. He only has a custom chassis and red side rods, because some of the engines that he based off from have them. I forgot the name of them, so I don't really need to pull up a picture. But yeah. Also, before I go, I did mention Thomas and Toby's bases. So I just want to show you guys them just to give you guys an image of what they're supposed to look like. Here's Toby's bases. And here's Thomas's bases. But anyway, these are all my custom Trapmasters. I didn't really want to go for them all since one, because well I have a short attention span, and two, because it'll make this video even longer. I do have a lot more custom Trapmasters, but for example, I have my custom Strasbourg Thomas, which I plan to upgrade here. And I also have some custom HO scale locomotives. Like recently, I made this steam dummy locomotive I made. And before you guys ask, are they in narrow gauge? Not narrow gauge. Are there narrow gauge steam trams? Why this one's standard gauge or something? I'll get into that later. In case you guys don't know, yeah, these things are supposed to be narrow gauge or supposed to be trains that are compatible in scale track. But yeah. But anyway, this is the end of the video. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. Also, this won't be a Thomas and Friends 23 Trapmaster Studio video. Wow, jump scare. So Thomas, you know what to do.